On this episode of Small Screeners, we decided to go with a new release that we thought was spectacular: Glow. The premiere season was released on Netflix June 23rd, and all 10 episodes are available to stream, with plenty of time to binge watch them before next summer, when the next lot of episodes is rumored to be released. With obvious spoilers for the entirety of Season 1, save this video if you have yet to embark on the adventure that is Glow. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more. Genji Cohen, the executive producer of Glow and the force behind Weeds and Orange is the New Black, brings us yet another quality program where females dominate the screen. Rather than centering her stories on the traditional roles for women, she crafts anti-heroes that are complex and multifaceted creatures worthy of storylines that test their mettle and involve them in much more than just relationships with men. Her work shows us friendship dynamics unexplored in other work, unafraid to dive into the messiness of it all. It explores the hardships and the struggles in the everyday lives of relatable women, and the drama and conflict all serve to harden their resolve, to push forward as we cheer them on. 2017 brought us the movie Wonder Woman, which broke many records by showing what a female-directed film about a warrior woman could amount to. It has undoubtedly laid a foundation for many stories to come that feature female protagonists in roles that might have traditionally went to men. With that being said, there is still a hill to climb before all movies will hold up to the scrutiny of the Bastile Test, despite the fact that all a script requires to pass is that it contains at least two women who speak to each other about something other than men. Of course, passing the test does not imply that the piece is feminist. Rather, it is a way of gauging the cultural trends of the industry over time. The test came from the noticeable male dominance in films, and even in a recent study in 2014, it was found that in 120 films made worldwide from 2010 to 2013, only 31% of named characters were female, and only 23% of the films had a female protagonist or co-protagonist. Also, only about 7% of the directors were women. We would be interested to see how well the television industry would hold up to the same scrutiny. Actresses have a wider range of roles available in this medium, and going back as far as I Love Lucy, we see that the small screen has embraced the female gender much more than film. With strides to go in the fight for gender equality, we see programs like Glow as important because they help shape a new narrative within the psyche of North Americans on how we view women. The first season admittedly felt a little slow. Much like a superhero origin story, it spends most of the time establishing and developing the characters, building up the anticipation that next season will include a larger amount of actual wrestling. The choice to frame the story around a domestic incident is one that is overused within the realm of television, but when done right, it can succeed in making a fantastic story more relatable, like in the Starz hit American Gods. Here, it is done carefully, coming close to the edge as the writers take a risk by making their main character the antagonist in the cheating scenario. Ruth Wilder, played by the dazzling Alison Brie, leads the ragtag group of women wrestlers as they go through weeks of preparation to eventually film a pilot for a wrestling show. While many other writers would endeavor to make you love their protagonist, instead they begin the series by bearing all of Ruth's flaws for the viewer to see. Making her the instigator instead of the more traditional role of victim is a risk, as it requires her to climb back towards our endearment. While cheating with your friend's husband is certainly not an original way to create drama, here it is done remarkably well, as the motivations and outcomes of the conflict feel genuine by the conclusion of the first season. While we do believe that it may have been easier to set Ruth up as the victim of the situation, her struggle becomes relatable when we consider mistakes of our own that may have divided a friendship. As we watch her feel real guilt and remorse, we sympathize with her as a human being who wants to be better despite her fallacies. By the end, the glimpse of forgiveness that Betty displays is enough to chip away at any animosity we may have felt towards her. Betty Gilpin plays Debi Eagan, Ruth's best friend when the story begins. As the viewer, we are placed in a strange position when we realize that Ruth is betraying her trust. Her story is one of a middle-aged woman in crisis who demonstrates her strength by using the opportunity placed in front of her to take a step out of her traditional role and follow her dreams. Her decision to work with Ruth showed her maturity and offered a therapeutic outlet to work out their problems. Their rocky friendship is one that seems realistic, as life is complicated and things are not always black and white. While the female characters in a Genji Cohen production always have a well-conceived, lifelike quality to them, her male characters sometimes have come across as flat. In Weeds, the men couldn't grow up. Their stunted adolescence allows Nancy to remain above them, the matron of the dysfunctional family. In Orange, the men are fixed in their view of women as objects. They move them around and expect them to act in specific ways, and are confused when they don't fit into boxes. Glow, however, gives us perhaps her finest critique of men through the character Sam Sylvia, played by Mark Maron. At first, his foul mouth and rude attitude are somewhat off-putting, until you realize that underneath his gruff demeanor, he has a respect for women that is two-sided. He doesn't tiptoe around women like many other men of the era, who think that if they are nice or polite to women, that helps towards equality. Instead of trying to give them what he thinks they want, he treats the women like they are people, not talking down to them or buttering up his speech for them. He is real and honest and visceral when he talks, and while some of them are offended by him, it is the strong females within the group that see past his crudeness to his heartfelt desires to lift these women up instead of tearing them down like most other men in their lives. With an array of other talent in this production, Sidel Noel as Cherry Bang and Brittany Young as Carmen Wade are both standout performances in roles that seem like they were specifically written for the actresses that play them. Well, that's it for our Season 1 review of Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like and subscribe buttons, making it easier to find us again. Leave us your thoughts on where the show is headed in the comments section down below, and be sure to share this video with your friends. Thanks for watching, small screeners. We'll see you next time.